Hey, what's going on? Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well today. Welcome to my show on my channel, on my Facebook. I'm Jerry. For those of you that don't know me, I apologize and take full responsibility for that. But I want to make sure that you know I own a company called WealthX. And I say this every time. You guys know why we exist. I believe that everybody here, everybody watching, everyone in the world has the right to create a life by design. And most people aren't. Most people are doing the 40 hours a week for 40 years to life sentence at a job that they hate, trading their precious time for something as worthless as a piece of paper that we call money that literally isn't backed by anything. And I call that a life by default. So I want to talk to you guys today about time management. And why I want to talk to you about time management is because time is the stuff that your life is made out of. I think Ben Franklin said that quote. I love the likes, keep them coming. Make sure you share this as well. But I want to talk about time management. And the reason why is time is the reason that somebody would get financially independent. Okay? It's mistaken that you would arbitrarily build up a bunch of money or a bunch of passive income just to have it. You're trying to get your time back. You're trying to get your time back because you know it's the things you spend your time on, not necessarily the things that you spend your money on that really and truly matter in life. So time management. I first started learning about this at the age of 19. For those that don't know my backstory, I started in business at 18 years old. It's the only thing I've ever done. And so at 19, I started learning about time management. And the reason I started learning about time management is because I was doing such a terrible job at it. I was showing up to meetings late. I was oversleeping. I wasn't going to bed on time. I wasn't studying when I was supposed to. All of the things, right? All the stuff that we all struggle with. So I started reading books on time management. I started reading books. I started asking for advice, asking for other people's opinions. And I want to give you guys the one tip. The one tip, and I just learned this year, so think about that. I started at 18. I'm now 25. It took me 7 years to figure this out. You ready? You can drum roll if you want. The one tip that you need to know about time management is it doesn't freaking exist. There's no such thing. It's worthless. I want you to ditch the idea altogether. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do instead. So the reason why time management doesn't exist is this. There is no such thing as time. It's 100% made up. I know that's crazy to think about, but think about it. Time was made up. The reason we came up with time is because this little earpiece that I'm holding was one day going this fast, and somebody had to make sense of the change from this point to this point, and so we had to come up with a thing called time to measure distances, to measure evolution, to measure change. Can you think about it? Adam and Eve are sitting in the garden, and Adam gets a 5 o'clock shadow for the first time ever. He gets a 5 o'clock shadow. How freaked out would you be if hair started coming out of your face? You would need to make sense of it. So you would need to come up with, okay, the longer I wait with this thing called time, this stuff starts coming out of my face. Or the sun comes up at this time and sets at this time. It's made up. So somebody made up time to make sense of their environment. We adapted to the idea. We stuck with it. So the reason why I want you to get rid of time management is because you can't manage something that's not real. Okay? I want you to make an invisible friend up right now, and I want you to start ordering him around and telling him what to do. It's not going to work. Time is not a thing. Time is entirely 100% made up. So now that I've rocked your world on that, it's true. Like, you can pick it apart. I would love to even have a dialogue with you. If you're in the comments and you don't agree with this, let's talk about it. But you can pick it apart as much as you want to. Time is just a measurement of the distance and the change of matter, energy, and space. That's it. Okay? So now that we know time's not real, what are you really trying to manage? Activity? Is it activity management? Because that was where I went next. I was like, okay, so it's not time, it's actions. It's the actions I'm taking. Is the activity management? And I started thinking, and I was like, no, like all of my activities I pretty much control at will, right? Like when I say, hey, I want to snap my fingers, they snapped. That's activity management. So I'm not struggling with activity management. Like, there's not very many bodily functions that I can't control. All of them I can manage, and I can micromanage and control them for the most part. So it's not activity management. So what I need you to think about instead is intention. Okay? What really is happening when you get a schedule like this and you line it out and you put all your activities, that really is my to-do list today. You line it out and you put all of your actions, you're stating an intention. You're making yourself and others a promise. And it's not time's fault, because time doesn't exist. And it's not your activity's fault, because you at the end of the day control your bodily functions and what you do and don't do. So really what it is it's ethics. It's doing what you tell others you're going to do. It's the ability to keep your word with yourself and with others. And so the reason why time management doesn't exist is because it's not something that you can put off on time. You can't blame this and put the responsibility on time. You can't blame this and put the responsibility on actions. The only thing and person you can blame is yourself. That's what I came to the realization of. So when I tell myself, hey, I'm going to wake up at 5:30, and then I don't, it's not time's fault, and it's not my alarm clock's fault, and it's not the fact that I couldn't get out of bed, because I could. I've done it plenty of other times at various times in the morning. It was my own personal ethics. It was my own ability to keep my word with myself. So I want to give you guys a little bit of an insight. When I'm working with clients on coaching, if we do not get them in a position where they have personal ethics, where they can keep their word, they can stay in alignment with what they're saying to others, then none of the goals are going to happen. Okay, so when I'm sitting with someone, we go through and we look at their someday goal. We list out everything. You know, in 15 years, where do you want to be at? You have so much passive income. You're doing anything you want with your time. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? What are you passionate about? And this is where the good stuff comes out. But then we start boiling it down. You know, it's really fun to dream, but then when we figure out, okay, what do you need to do in 30 days? You know, to be on track for your dream, what do you need to do in 30 days? What do you need to do this week? What do you need to do today? What needs to happen in the next hour? That's when the ethics thing comes in. That's when the responsibility issues come in. Because I can either pick up my phone and make the 50 phone calls I know I'm supposed to make, or I can choose not to. I can either go to the gym when I know I'm supposed to, or I can choose not to. It's not a time thing. It's not an action thing. It's totally an ethics thing. And I use the word ethics because it's not integrity. Okay, integrity means a whole integer, okay? So we mix integrity up with ethics all too often. Integrity means that I am wholly one unit. So I can be a terrible, crappy person through and through and have integrity as long as I do that all the time. So it's not integrity. It's not even morals. Morals is a code. It's a code out here that I agree to based on a group that says, hey, these are the principles we live by. So it's not even a moral code. It's a me thing. That's why it's ethics. Ethics is your ability to follow through with yourself on your promises. It's not even an other people thing. It's not that I said I would be on time for the meeting and I didn't and you were 5 minutes waiting for me. It's the fact that I couldn't keep my word to myself. If I can't keep my word to myself, what I tell you doesn't even matter, because I can't even make myself do it. So guys, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Get rid of the time management concept. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of authors that make money on books all the time talking about the subject of time management, and it's all BS. There's no such thing. So get in a position where when you say something, you do it. It's called finishing cycles of action. Finishing cycles of action is basically you saying, I'm going to start this, and I'm not going to get distracted, to stop, to do something different. You're going to finish the cycle of action. When you can do that with little stuff, you can start doing it with big stuff. You know, when you say you're going to do something small, do you actually see it to the finish? And if you do that, then you're going to be able to handle bigger things. But that's what I wanted to talk about today. I appreciate all the comments. Kevin. So Kevin agrees that time is neutral and it's an ethics issue. He doesn't quite believe that it's non-existent. We'll have to talk about that, Cardone. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Go check out my website, www.wealthxpro.com. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Follow me on Instagram as well, at Jerry Fetta. I don't do any cool, weird names. I want you guys to find me at Jerry Fetta. Thank you for the likes. Please share this. Please watch this from the beginning if you're struggling with time management. I will talk to you guys next time.